This is part of your some curriculum or just visiting?
It's like field trip for
Okay,
us.
okay, very good. This is a good exposure for you
Yes.
to visit outside your campus and learn from field, because you don't. I think they are giving some practicals also there, botany, zoology, but it is good to get exposure to forest areas like this. Our campus is also rich in biodiversity, and we are working on conservation of biodiversity, and it is essential for life sciences students to visit forest areas, and all of you are interested in biodiversity and nature conservation. That is good. Your faculty have brought you here, and our scientists are also working in this biodiversity conservation, and I think you must have got some idea about our institute activities. uh, I'm the director having some 10 scientists. They are working on different fields like ecology, biodiversity conservation, genetics, tree improvement, soil science, and entomology, pathology, and non-wood forest product chemistry, and other allied subjects related to forest conservation, biodiversity conservation, and environmental protection. All these aspects we are also working. Our institute is a big council under our head office is at Dehradun. There is a old, I think, institute, our forest research institute. There since British period they were working, and ours is a one of the institute. 9 institutes are there all over India. Our council is the major important research institution in the country working on forestry related aspects, especially as you know, nowadays this biodiversity conservation is important at global level also, at national level also. All governments are taking various steps to conserve biodiversity, and we are also working in that direction. And apart from biodiversity, this climate change issues also we have to address at a global level also, national level also. We are working, and apart from that, this protection of soils, prevention of desertification. This is also a very important aspect, I think. As life sciences students, as you are aware, in 1992, in Brazil, one Earth Summit was held. That was the beginning for many international initiatives were taken up for conservation of biodiversity, especially this addressing this climate change issues. Three important agreements were made. One is UNFCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and all the 196 countries they have signed, and India also signed. And every year we need to every 2 years or 1 year, every year they are conducting conference of parties. Parties means all countries. They are parties. They are organizing meetings, and India also submits its reports for UNFCC for various activities they are taking up for controlling this climate change, addressing this carbon emission, and this climate change issues. And India is also committed, because this net zero carbon emissions have to be achieved by 2070 as committed by our Indian government at the global level. That means the carbon dioxide emissions should be neutralized by trapping, growing more trees. If we grow more trees, atmospheric carbon dioxide will be under control, so that this global warming effect will be reduced. Like that, not only that, we should reduce use of fossil fuels like petroleum products and other products. We can, so that we can reduce our carbon emissions, and at the same time we can sequester carbon, atmospheric carbon dioxide, by growing more trees, by conserving, and so that we can achieve net zero carbon emissions, so that our um, balance, atmospheric carbon dioxide balance will be maintained, and the effects of climate change will not be much serious, like droughts, floods, and all these uh, effects will be minimized. Apart from that, another important agreement was signed at Earth Summit is UNCBD, that is called United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. That is means biodiversity is fast becoming extinct. Many species are becoming extinct. and it was felt that we have to conserve our biodiversity. For that reason, this UNCPD was also signed. India is also signatory. Its headquarters secretariat is at Montreal, Canada. And in 2012 also, Conference of Parties 11 meeting was held in Hyderabad at that time for conservation of biological diversity. At that time, government of India decided to establish this institute. Our Institute of Forest Biodiversity came in 2012, but before that it was a research center. But, and we are also working on every 4 years, every 2 years, there are conference of parties meetings to biological diversity are being held in various countries. And our country also committed to preserve our biodiversity, conserve our biodiversity, and we need to submit our country reports also what we have achieved. And biodiversity conservation is not easy at global level as well as national level, at local level also. We have to take many uh, actions, important actions to preserve. I think this is we have to approach integrated approach for conserving biological diversity, and for that we have good policy for policy for conservation of biological diversity. And as you have studied basic constitution in Article 51 AG in Indian Constitution, I think in that you have studied that it is the uh, fundamental duty of every citizen to protect forests, wildlife, lakes, and have compassion for wild animals. This is the Article 51 AG. It is the fundamental duty of every citizen. That's why we are conserving our biodiversity. Apart from that, there are directive principles of state policy also there. Article 48A. In that, it is the direction is given to government also to protect wildlife, conserve forests. This is the duty of the government also. That's why the people are working and government is also working, and we are also working our institutes in the direction of conservation of biological diversity. We have a strong policy, and at global level also there is a policy for we have to retain 33% tree cover on earth. That is the policy, government policy. India also 33% forest cover we have to retain, so that our ecological balance will be maintained on earth. And for maintaining these water cycles especially, and protecting our soils, this 33% recover is essential. Otherwise there will be floods, there will be loss of soil resources. Soil is also lost to ocean if trees are not there. That is the reason we have to maintain 33% to tree cover, whether on hilly areas or other sensitive areas. Special focus is given. India, we have to 2020 forest policy also. It is there. Under that, the cutting of trees on hilly areas, river valleys, river catchment areas is strictly banned, and we have to protect it. This is the policy backup given by government for protection of forest and improvement of tree cover. For that, we need to promote. Even nowadays, this trees outside forest also concept has come. For that, farmers are also encouraging. We are encouraging to grow, take up agroforestry plantations, like our institute is also initiating, and various local municipal governments, local governments, because our forest area is limited in India. On an average, 24% area is under tree cover, but forest policy they are saying that we should have 33% to uh, tree cover on earth. For that reason, recorded forest is very less, but we have to achieve 33%, means we can grow trees outside forest areas. For that, we are taking up this Harita Haram project of the Telangana state government. Such similar initiatives were taken by many state government, and trees outside forest area is also growing. Every 2 years, biannually, this our Forest Survey of India is there at Dehradun. They are publishing survey of forest report. They are publishing forest survey report. They are publishing Forest Survey of India. Every 2 years they publish, and we our tree cover is increasing outside forest areas as per their report. But the density of forest inside the forest is declining. Earlier used to be very dense forests. As per classification, three types of forest: degraded forest, open forests, dense forest. Three types of forests we classify, but dense forests are reducing. and open forests are increasing, degraded forests also increasing. This is the alarming situation, and there are many reasons for it. Illegal felling may be one reason, and cattle pressure and human pressure. These are the pressures on our forest areas. We have to reduce, we have to address this. Not only that, nowadays this invasive alien species they call, that means weeds are coming up in our forest areas. They are affecting regeneration, especially lantana. I think you must have seen lantana plant too. That is affecting regeneration in forest areas. That is encroaching, that is growing in abundance, overabundance, and that is affecting the regeneration of forest tree species. That is causing, that is also affecting forest regeneration as well as biodiversity also. So most of the fodder and grass species are lost, and wildlife is also getting affected because of these invasive alien species. And we are taking up under CBD also. We have, that is the one of the important target for eradication of invasive alien species. And this is the policy aspects of the government of India. We are improving the tree cover as per the government policy, and we have strong constitutional and policy backup. Government is also taking up various. Not only that, we have to take this spatial approach, and spatial approach means we have many wildlife habitats like sanctuaries, national parks, biodiversity reserves, and many other such areas are there as per legally. The spatial approach, wherever this forest, important forest types are there, they are declared as sanctuaries, national parks, and important forest habitats are there. They are protected as conservation areas, biodiversity reserves, and we are legally they are declaring as sanctuaries, national parks, and they are protecting it. This is the spatial approach. Wherever is habitat, natural habitat is there, we are declaring as uh, biodiversity heritage sites also under biodiversity um, protection act. And international level also IUCN recognizes many natural habitats. IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, they declare heritage sites like Western Ghats. They are rich in biodiversity. They are the IUCN World Heritage Sites like Himalayan region, Himalayas, Northeast region. They are recognized by IUCN as World Heritage Sites. Not only this archaeological sites, we are this natural forest areas also declared as IUCN heritage sites. And this is the spatial approach to protect the important habitats for preservation of biodiversity. That is the spatial approach. And not only that, we have to approach, take up species level approach also. All species are not equally endangered. Some species are very rare, endangered, threatened. As you know, there was a international level conventional and international trade in endangered species, because wildlife species are also traded. Not only plants like sandalwood, red sanders, other plants are illegally traded. Not only that, wildlife articles also traded like tiger skins, elephant tusks. All these are traded. To regulate them, to preserve biodiversity, the site is what was made. Site is also the publishes this rare, endangered, threatened wild flora faunal species, and their trade is restricted. The international level, their trade is regulated and restricted and banned some species like rare, endangered, threatened species. CITES, that is also species approach. That is like red sanders export is also banned. Only limited permitted quota is allowed. Like sandalwood is export is also banned. Like that, rare, endangered, threatened species are protected under CITES, as well as IUCN also. They also protect. They also publish as Appendix 1, 2, 3 for rare, endangered, that vulnerable species. They are publishing for protection of species of flora and fauna. This is the species level approach. As I think our scientists might have told, we have to preserve biodiversity at three levels. At species level means at genetic level, and species level, and ecosystem level. All these three level, this approach, species approach, we have to follow to protect the rare, endangered, threatened species. And we are taking up for in situ conservation, ex situ conservation measures. In situ conservation means within forest area you protect the vulnerable species by giving adequate protection. And ex situ conservation means sometimes inside the forest the regeneration fails. What you do artificially, we rear them. We have to conserve them artificially in arboretum or in laboratory or uh, by artificial methods. Our institutes, many institutes are there working on rare ex situ conservation of rare endangered species. We have establishing some cold storage facilities for protecting some preserving this genetic diversity of these rare endangered tree species like that. Uh, this is the species level approach for protection of biodiversity preservation. Spatial approach, species level, and economic aspects also important. Economic approaches we have to follow for preservation of biodiversity. Economic approaches include because many economic aspects are also involved in biodiversity aspects because agriculture is essential and commercial mining is taking place and industries are also essential. Many all other activities are also so essential for economic reasons. But we have to, and as per global conventions or national conventions, what do if some polluting industry is there, we tax more, more taxes are imposed, or some activity, some subsidies as per CBD convention, we have to reduce subsidies on those chemical substances that endangered that cause pollution, because pollution is a major problem for extinction of biodiversity, especially land pollution, air pollution, water pollution. Water bodies are being polluted, that is endangering our wildlife. And we have to reduce subsidies on such chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides. This is economic approach. By taxing more on polluter, we can reduce the effect of those industries which cause endanger biodiversity extinction. These are the economic approaches. Taxing is the important. Those as you must have studied polluter pays principle in law also. What means the polluter, whoever causing pollution, they have to compensate for the loss of the pollution, loss caused by pollution. And this economic, that taxing is one term, and preventive, apart from precautionary measures and compensation, even global level also, this carbon credit concept has come. The industries can buy carbon credits, those who generate carbon credits by growing more trees or reducing their pollutants or approaching this green clean technology mechanisms like suppose hydroelectricity is clean energy, fossil fuels is that polluting, that those who are using fossil fuels, they can pay buy carbon credits from those who use this hydroelectricity, because hydroelectricity is pollution free and that is the clean energy. They can get to suppose you generate power by using solar panels, that is a clean energy. You are generating carbon credits because you are reducing carbon emissions by generating this alternate energy source, clean energy. And they should be compensated by whom? Those who are using this fossil fuels like petrol, diesel. They are emitting carbon dioxide and they have to buy carbon credits from those who. This is the concept of carbon credits. Under UNFCCC we have signed under Paris Agreement, they have made this convention, and many states, many developed countries, this carbon trading is taking place. But in India recently, we government of India announced green credit concept, green credits. And those who have generate this alternate energy by using solar or wind energy or bio energy, biogas energy, and hydroelectricity like that, or they those who reduce carbon emissions by reducing their use of coal or diesel or other fossil fuel consumption, they can generate carbon green credits, and they can sell to those industries which are producing carbon emissions. This is the concept of green credit program of government of India. Recently they have initiated, and those we are working in that direction for this the valuation of green credits, because there should be some mechanism for valuation of green credits. Those who grow more trees and they can also generate green credits. And those who can even sometimes this cultivation of paddy, and they also contribute to methane gas emissions sometimes. If they take up some dryland agriculture, they can reduce methane emissions, they will get carbon credits. This is the concept of carbon credits, and they have to be, there should be some mechanism for valuation of carbon credits, and there should be some platform like stock exchange for selling of this green credits, so that people can buy online and sell online this carbon credits. And some record keeping machinery should also be there, like NSDL for other stocks and shares they maintain, no? Like that we are working on it on green credit concept. And these are the economic approaches for biodiversity conservation apart. Economic approaches, and we have strong legal backup also. We have environment protection act. Environment protection act, our these pollution laws are very strong, strict. Pollution control boards are also there. State level pollution control board, central pollution control board also there. They are monitoring, regulating this pollution levels. Not only this sewage treatment, solid waste treatment, all these they are pollution control boards. They are regulating for reducing their effects on forests, our rivers, lakes, and other pollution aspect they are managing, especially in urban areas. Um, Apart from that, we have strong Forest Conservation Act. We can't divert forest area for non-forest purposes. Even if they divert also, equal area outside the forest should be provided, or double the number of trees should be planted. All these regulations are there under Forest Conservation Act. Apart from that, we have Indian Forestry Act also for regulating. Even we are forestry is also an economic activity. We harvest timber for our economic gains. But to sustainable harvesting method has come. This concept, sustainable harvesting method means every tree should be sustainably harvested, and there should not be any illegal felling. I think this FSC certification you must be known, Forest Steward Council certification, and because at international level timber transport will not be allowed unless this FSC certification is there. That means Forest Steward Council. India is also, there is some certain standards are there for trade of timber or wood related products, because chain of custody certification is also essential, because timber is smuggled, and those smuggled timber, if they make IKEA furniture stuff, you must have seen, and this FSC logo you will see, then only they can trade. These are the any other, even some paper plates, paper glass also you buy a FSC logo will be there. That is means they were made from sustainably harvested wood, not illegally felled timber. That means this is the market-based approach for conservation of biodiversity. Market-based approaches means this any marketing of forest-based or wood-based products or any natural products, there should be proper certification should be there. If there is proper certification, illegal or unsustainable harvesting can be reduced, or illegal harvesting can be prevented. This is the market based approach. Market, if you buy only those certified things means you can reduce the illegal harvesting, illegal trade you can minimize. This is the concept of market based approach. Only those certified products of wood or forest based products can be will be traded, and we have to approach appropriate market based approaches for that only. And the ecological environmental approaches, because our ecological services are not valuated. We have to value our ecological services. We have to economic valuation of our resources, water. You are feeling hungry? Okay, then I will conclude then. Okay. Okay, then if it is not boring, or I think feeling. Okay, I think. Okay, if you feel hungry, then I will discontinue. Otherwise, you can learn somewhere else. And if then uh, what I want to tell, that there should be integrated approach for conservation of biodiversity. We have to protect it effectively, and you are interested. That's why I'm telling about biodiversity conservation. And if you, I think there are many opportunities, because you may be in graduation level. If you want to become a scientist also, you can pursue your MSc and join in our organization as scientist, our council. They take and life sciences. There are many important opportunities are there. Life sciences nowadays, this biotechnology is growing. Many biotechnology industries are coming up in because you are life sciences students. You can pursue like that. You can pursue research in, or after BSc also you can appear for forest services exam. Like we have passed through Indian Forest Service exam and we have joined Indian Forest Service. If you are interested, you can join in IFS also, or state level forest services also you can join. Or if you are want to become a scientist and pursue in forestry research or wildlife research, you can continue your post graduation in MSc and you can join as a scientist in our organization. Like that, national level, global level, there are many opportunities for you life sciences students also.
Sorry for interrupting you, sir. Do we have any internships or any?
Yeah, there are internship they are taking.
You would like to
After
have
BSc also, some project assistants they are taking up. They can apply. We regularly publish in some newspaper or our put in our website. Our IFB website is there. You can browse our website. They regularly put under various projects. They take project assistants, sometimes project fellow for working under projects, and internship also for BSc level. I think nobody take, but MSc level there will be internship will be there.
It's a humble request from us, sir. Like if few institutes come forward with this internships at the degree level, because
Okay.
as per new education policy,
Yeah.
skill development is more
Yeah, that is
stressed there.
important too.
I think the curriculum will be losing that
Yeah,
fame from
definitely.
being
If
skill.
they are interested, they will take our scientist. They can
That's
work
what
under our
at the
scientist.
degree level, if they have some projects or
Uh,
internships, that will be beneficial for the students, sir.
yeah, definitely. We are taking many students are working as intern because they learn basic research techniques also. In colleges, not much exposure will be there for practical experience, but they learn many techniques.
Yeah, that's
People are joining for MSc level. They are joining and they are knowing DNA extraction technique and other modern techniques, tissue culture techniques, other techniques, and they will issue certificate also our institute. After that, our certificate they will show and get to admission into other research programs and other things. That will be advantageous
it
because
can be online or offline, whichever is
no, no,
feasible.
offline they are working in our
Offline.
laboratories. They can come for
Okay, sir.
internship and
Thank you,
they
sir.
work
Thanks.
with our scientists and various under various projects, forestry projects they are working. And after even MSc, there will be a dissertation, no? One
Yes.
semester. They work for 3 months here, come and they work with our scientists. They will get good exposure for practical exposure in our institute. Um, if they are interested, I think they can approach our
Okay.
scientists or browse through our website, and that will be good for them. And I think I wish you all to your future career, and thank you for coming visiting our institute.
Thank you, sir.